Walmart, a name synonymous with retail, evokes a spectrum of emotions, loved by millions for its low prices, yet despised by others for its business practices. This is the story of the world's largest retailer, and the controversies that surround it. The giant everyone knows, but not everyone can stand. Let's start at the end, at the peak of power. Today, Walmart is the largest retail empire on the planet, generating over $600 billion a year. With more than 10,000 stores worldwide, its reach is so vast that any change in its policies can influence entire local economies. And that's exactly what inspires both fascination and fear. But behind the yellow smiles and irresistible prices, there's a growing legion of people who simply hate Walmart. It consistently ranks among the most hated companies in the United States. In customer satisfaction surveys, like the American Customer Satisfaction Index, it often falls below the average for supermarkets. This raises an intriguing question: why so much hate? Perhaps the answer lies in how Walmart grew. The company didn't just dominate retail, it rewrote the rules. From the beginning, its philosophy was simple: sell everything cheaper than anyone else. This obsession with low prices shaped the consumption habits of an entire generation. But at what cost? Over the years, thousands of comments have flooded forums, channels, and videos demanding an investigation. Many specifically asked for this video. It's as if there's a collective need to understand the true nature of the beast, and that's exactly what we'll do: investigate why Walmart is so hated. But before we proceed, a disclaimer. This video is not an accusation. It's an objective presentation of the most relevant facts explaining this widespread sentiment. And like any good mystery, we'll follow the trail of impact back to its roots. It's impossible to ignore Walmart's sheer size. Founded by Sam Walton in 1962, the company's growth was unprecedented. In less than 2 decades, it was already moving billions. By 1990, it surpassed Sears to become the largest U.S. retailer. In 2002, it became the world's largest company by revenue, the first non-manufacturing business to top the Fortune 500. But such rapid growth raises suspicions. How could a company expand so much, so fast? The answer lies in an aggressive acquisition strategy. Since 1977, Walmart began buying smaller chains, expanding its dominance at an industrial pace. This happened in the US, Mexico, Canada, Europe, always absorbing local networks and consolidating its empire. In the 90s, this expansion grew even bolder. Walmart bought the UK's third-largest supermarket chain for over $10 billion. In Germany, it acquired entire networks, and in each of these moves a pattern repeated: the demise of local competitors, the standardization of offerings, and the beginning of the Walmartization of economies. With great power came distrust. To many, Walmart began to resemble a disguised monopoly rather than a simple retail chain. When a single company can influence prices, suppliers, jobs, and even consumer behavior, it stops being just a business. And the scariest part? Any misstep by this giant can trigger ripple effects worldwide. Walmart's impact goes far beyond shelves. It reaches governments, entire supply chains, and even the way we live. One of the oldest criticisms of Walmart is its effect on small businesses. When a new store opens in a small town, something strange happens. Local shops lose customers. People start choosing Walmart, not because they want to, but because they can't compete with its prices. This phenomenon has a name: the Walmart effect. Coined by Charles Fishman in his 2006 book, it describes how Walmart transforms entire commercial ecosystems. In towns with fewer than 25,000 people, the impact is even more dramatic. Sam Walton knew this. He specifically targeted these places. Bakery owners, pharmacies, markets, and clothing stores all start feeling the blow. Customers vanish, profits evaporate. One by one, local businesses shut down. Walmart becomes the sole survivor, not by merit, but by sheer force. Of course, some see the upside. Walmart creates jobs, boosts the local economy, and attracts restaurants and gas stations. But the social cost is too high to ignore. Commercial diversity gives way to uniformity. Local economies lose their identity. In the end, what's left are towns dependent on a single commercial hub. Centralized consumption doesn't just kill businesses, it kills local cultures. And that's one of the deepest scars Walmart leaves behind. Another recurring criticism is Walmart's supplier practices. The company wields near absolute power over its suppliers. When it demands lower prices, suppliers have little choice. Survival depends on submission. This pressure forces brands to cut costs at any price, lower wages, reduce quality, or outsourcing production to countries with cheap labor. The result? A flood of Chinese products on Walmart's shelves. For decades, an estimated 10% of U.S. imports from China passed through Walmart. This sparked fierce criticism. How could such an American company fuel foreign industry at the expense of local workers? Walmart tried to respond. In 2013, it pledged to buy $250 billion in U.S.-made goods by 2023. In 2021, it upped the ante to $350 billion by 2031. They claim 2/3 of products sold in the U.S. now come from domestic factories. But critics say it's too little, too late. The lingering question is, does Walmart help the U.S. economy or silently sabotage it day after day? When discussing social impact, Walmart's employees can't be ignored. With over 2 million workers worldwide, 75% in the U.S., it's the largest private employer on Earth. But this scale hides a harsh reality. Reports of low wages, exhausting shifts, lack of benefits, and anti-union tactics have been common for decades. Many workers claim stores were shut down after unionization attempts. The message was clear: accept the rules, or get out. In 2021, an extreme case made headlines. A worker with Down syndrome won a $100 million discrimination lawsuit against Walmart. It was just one of many examples. There are accusations of racism, ableism, abusive surveillance, workplace harassment, and more. Walmart has tried to improve its image. In 2015, it invested billions in training and wage hikes. Today, it says the average associate earns $17.50 per hour, but turnover remains high, and many employees leave demoralized. When workers don't feel valued, how can customer service excel? This might explain why so many avoid Walmart, even when it's the cheapest option. None of these issues are simple. Walmart is both a logistical miracle and a symbol of economic decay. It's hard to ignore how it democratized access to goods, but it's equally impossible to overlook the collateral damage. Between international corruption scandals, child labor allegations, environmental fines, and unfulfilled sustainability promises, the company's legacy is stained by far more than low price tags. Walmart isn't just a store, it's a distorted reflection of modern globalization and capitalism. It's convenient, but controversial. It solves problems, but creates many others. And maybe that's why so many hate it, because deep down, Walmart forces us to confront the contradictions of our society. It's both symptom and cause, consequence and protagonist. If you've made it this far, you also want to understand the hidden side of the millionaires and corporations shaping our world. Subscribe now to Invisible Millionaires and get ready to see what no one else shows.